Before we get this video started, gotta give a quick disclaimer. Nothing in this video is full auto. This is semi-automatic only. And while it may seem like I'm going very, very fast, which I am, each time I pull the trigger, it's a single function of the trigger and semi-automatic only. For my beautiful YouTube moderators out there, it's a trigger pull and another trigger pull. Each time it's semi-automatic, single function of the trigger. And finally, I want to thank my good homie Mike for helping me out with some Polish in this video. Let's go.
Hej, tam gdzie zna czarnej wody, siada na koń kozak młody, czule żegna się z dziewczyną, jeszcze czule z Ukrainą. Hej, 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 sokoły, omijajcie góry, lasy, doły, dzwoń, 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 dzwoneczku, mój sterkowy skoro.
Jedziemy!
Hej, 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 sokoły, omijajcie góry, lasy, doły, dzwoń, 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 dzwoneczku, mój sterkowy skoroneczku. Hej, 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 sokoły, omijajcie góry, lasy, doły, dzwoń, 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 dzwoneczku, mój sterkowy dzwoń, dzwoń, dzwoń. Żal, żal za dziewczyną, za zieloną Ukrainę. Żal, żal, serce płacze, już się więcej nie zobaczę. Hej, 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 sokoły, omijajcie góry, lasy, doły, dzwoń, 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 dzwoneczku, sterkowy skowroneczku. Hej, 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 sokoły, omijajcie góry, lasy, doły,
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of PSR. Today we have an absolute tank of an AK, the Polish Beryl from FB Radom, a sweet NATO AK, really the only military AK that's chambered in 5.56 NATO. When Poland joined NATO, they needed to adopt the 5.56. This thing is super cool, obviously, because it's an awesome clone build from a GWAT era AK fought on the side of NATO forces, but also it's pretty neat because we have an FRT in this thing. This is the Texas Triggers FRT, specifically made for the Beryl. Very awesome. We're going to get into it, but first I got to thank the channel sponsor for PSR, guys. That's Aves Engineering. Aves Engineering makes all of the DIY glizzy parts you could possibly imagine. They got 17, 19, 43, 26, all sorts of rails for your squirted Glocks. Never in a million years would I use PSR for 10% off your entire order from Aves. Also, they got a boatload of Mac parts like Mac uppers in various lengths and sizes. If you like a big one, they got a 16-inch one, they got like a small one. So never in a million years, use PSR for 10% off your entire order from Aves. Tell them PSR sent you. Love Aves. We got some fun stuff in the future. Thank you to Aves for sponsoring this channel. All right, so I'll tell you a little bit about the Beryl because it's just a really cool rifle. One of my grail guns, honestly. I've wanted to have one of these for a long time. Unfortunately, these are no longer available new. You used to be able to get them as full guns from Arms of America, which brings me to who helped me out with this video, and that is both Arms of America and Texas Triggers. So this gun was sent to the channel by Arms of America and Texas Triggers. These things are like upwards of 4K now on like Gunbroker. It's really wild how pricey they've gotten on the used market now because they're no longer available. And as you know, with a lot of guns, if they stop being made and produced, they become quite expensive. And this is no exception. All right, guys, I'm editing the video right now and I asked Arms of America, are you going to be importing any more Beryls? Because I heard they were done. Arms of America is going to try this summer to have Beryls available new on their site. It's December right now, so quite a ways away, but there is hope after all that we might get new Beryls in the country in the summer. Also, another thing I found out is the Texas Triggers Beryl trigger will also work in the Tantal. So if you have like a parts kit Tantal build, it'll run with this FRT. Beans has taken ownership of the Beryl. A little bit of information, a little bit of background on the Beryl. So in the 80s, Poland was trying to make an AK that they didn't have to license from Russia, and they wanted to make a 5.45 AK, and that resulted in the Tantal. And that was 1988. They finally released the Tantal, and then of course in 1989, fall of the Soviet Union. Oh no, boo-hoo, communism died. That resulted in the Warsaw Pact being no longer, and therefore Poland joined alliances with NATO. And so when you join alliances with NATO, you got to have a rifle that can accept NATO cartridges like 5.56. Poland quickly scrapped the Tantal and then moved to the Beryl. So the Beryl is named after beryllium, which is an element. It is a stone. All right, so I'm editing this and I realized I mixed it up. Beryllium is actually different than Beryl, which is the stone. So beryllium is an element and Beryl's the cool emerald color stone. Very cool looking rock, and it actually is like the same color as this mag, which I think is pretty cool. It's like a really beautiful teal green color. I don't know if they intended to do that, but the Beryl mag looks like beryllium. Arms of America offered these as full kits with the full clone of the Beryl military rifle. So like this is the only 5.56 AK that is an actual military rifle. All the other 5.56 AKs are basically just adoptions of the 5.56 cartridge. This one made from the ground up to be 5.56 NATO. And there's some really cool features about this thing that sets it apart from other AKs. Starting from the back, we've got this collapsible stock. The early Beryls had a folding stock that was sort of similar like to the Tantal, but a little bit different. It had two bars and it was folding. This one does not fold, but it gives you a nice length of pull, unlike the older Beryl stock, which was pretty short like this. And it's funny because they actually had to specifically design that stock on the original Beryl to be able to fit into rifle holders that the Polish military had. And they had a requirement that the rifle couldn't be any longer than a certain length. And when you had it long like that, you couldn't. So they eventually made this collapsing stock, which kind of resembles the M4 stock. I like it, easy to shoot with body armor, so it's not folding. But then we move forward. The only thing that's not clone correct on this rifle, aside from the safety because of the FRT and stuff, is this grip. This is a Magpul grip. They would originally come with this Beryl grip, which I'm trying to find right now so I can be clone correct. So that's the only thing that's not clone correct on here is a Magpul grip. Other than that, what really sets this AK apart and an early innovation, in my opinion, to the AK platform is this rail. So this kind of looks like the Texas Weapon Systems dogleg, but this was before Texas Weapon System came out with that. So this is a quick detachable rail that goes over the top. So the way you get this thing undone is like this. You pop it up and it just comes right off. And there's your EOTech. They usually were running EOTechs on these guns in Poland and in the GWAT. So the Global War on Terror, Poland joined the Global War on Terror as they are a NATO country. To flip it back here, you just go like this. And she's back in, and it should retain 0. It kind of indexes on these notches that are right below the rear sight, which is cool. So a lot of these rifles were sporting EOTechs in the Global War on Terror, which Poland was a part of. So Afghanistan and Iraq, they were rocking these. There's a plethora of great information on YouTube if you want to get more into the details of this gun. Misha Co has a video that's great. Also Forgotten Weapons, also Henry 9-Hole Reviews did an awesome review on this thing. So I would suggest you check that stuff out if you want to know more information. The cool thing is you can actually use the iron sights through the dog leg. So this is a little high optic wise. It's just not quite enough to get a cheek well, but I know some companies do make cheek risers for this thing, which would be cool. So the optic's pretty much already set up for night vision. And then we have this quad rail on here, which came a little bit later in the development of the Beryl. Quad rail kind of resembles like an M4 style. This is the original vertical forward grip that came with this gun. It's a chrome line, cold hammer forged, 18-ish length barrel, so about 18 inches, a little bit longer than your standard 16-inch AK. And we have this muzzle device, which they engineered, bayonet mount here, and then I think it indexes on the front of this muzzle device. From my experience shooting this thing, it works pretty well, the muzzle device. Another thing unique to the Beryl is this takedown of your dust cover. It's got a little notch on it, a little button, and it makes the top cover not come off when firing rifle grenades, but we don't have any rifle grenades today, unfortunately. These are the FB Radom magazines. So this is made at the FB Radom facility in Poland, legendary factory for making AKs. And that brings me to the reason why these are no longer, because Poland has adopted a new service rifle called the MSBS Grot. It seems like a really cool gun. I would love to get my hands on one. Arms of America just announced today, the day we filmed this, that they're going to be importing them, that they got approved by the ATF to import those as pistols and rifles. So I would love to get my hands on one of those eventually. I think it's a really cool gun. It's a piston gun, and it's just cool to see Poland move forward in their small arms development with the MSBS Grot. Now, getting to the FRT part of this thing, and I don't know how much we're going to be able to show you because it's YouTube, unfortunately, but so Texas Triggers had to design this FRT specifically for the Beryl, and it's a drop-in FRT. It's got a little linkage there. We can't go too much into detail, but this is a proprietary design FRT for the Beryl. Now, the Beryl has a short version as well, which is really cool. It's like a 7-inch long pistol. It would be crazy to shoot that with the FRT, but this is a very easy installation. We're not going to show you how to do it or anything on YouTube. Texas Triggers does have a little install video. So if you're lucky enough to have a Beryl, the FRT is pretty sweet. We're going to see how this thing shoots, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like and sort of the disassembly. This is a buffer, which should allow the FRT to go a little bit faster. I know that Texas Triggers does provide these if you want a buffer in the back of your AK. And now we're back together. So in conclusion about the Beryl, guys, it's, like I said, it's been one of my grail gun AKs. Cannot wait to shoot this thing some more with the FRT. We just laid down like 500 rounds in the intro, and dude, she rips. And it's, from my experience, just pretty easy to keep the shots on target when going FRT mode. But we have to check, obviously, is it in FRT? That's important. But we want to show you in slow motion just what that looks like on the trigger, the forced reset mechanism in there. So yeah, we're going to test this thing out, see how it shoots. We're going to see how hard it is to keep on paper. And we want to know if we can do actually single shots, because this is just a 2-position FRT. So it's either safe or FRT mode. It'd be really cool to have a 3-position, but right now I haven't seen an AK 3-position one get designed yet. I'm sure Texas Triggers is working on that. So to all my Polish friends watching, jedziemy! All right, here we go with the Beryl and the Texas Triggers FRT. We have the Beryl mag with this extension from Amru Designs. I want to first test out, see if I can do single shots. Single shot here. Yep. Yep. Oh, got a couple there at the end. You can do single shots, and I was really interested to see actually if the EOTech would hold 0, because we did take the rail off. We put the rail back on just now, so it did hold 0. Let's just do a couple more single shots. There we go. No problem. Jedziemy, let's let her piss. Bro, that is really nice. Clear. Damn, that thing shoots so flat. It's got a long barrel, obviously, a little bit of more weight on the front, but dude, that thing shoots like a dream. Bulgarian mag. This time we're just gonna let her full piss here. Here we go. You can hear those rounds just one after another hitting the steel. It's really easy to keep on target. Golly, this thing just chugs. I've put probably 600 rounds through it at this point, and no malfunctions. Never expected there to be, but boy, dude, this thing just chugs. Rob Ski of AK Operators Union was actually issued this. He's from Poland originally, and if you watch his channel, you'll know that, but he was issued one of these in either Iraq or Afghanistan. He said that it was just a boringly reliable rifle for him, and I think he mentioned that this optic was just a little high, which I could totally understand. It is a little high. It's like almost impossible to get a cheek weld. So a cheek riser would be nice on this thing. But when you get down to the iron sights, that's where you want to be if you're using the iron sight. So the stock really isn't set up for the optic optimally, but I mean, I was able to keep the shots on steel. You saw it, it's pretty damn good. All right, well, let's bring out the slow motion camera and just look at this trigger in slow motion, 960 FPS. All right, so you saw in the video there in the slow motion, the trigger is definitely an FRT. When the bolt comes back, the trigger goes forward and resets. Bolt comes forward, pulling a single shot each time, which is semi-auto. Single function of the trigger only. We're not doing full auto here, completely semi-auto, and you saw it in the video. Next up, I want to try something a little different. This is a 545 mag that has been converted to 556 with a follower from AK thumb grips. Will the follower work? I actually haven't tried these yet, so curious if the Beryl will be able to take the 545 mag with the 556 follower. Jedziemy! Dawaj, dawaj! Ale chica! Dawaj, dawaj! Those mags work great, so that's awesome. Shout out to AK Thumb Grips. So another thing I forgot to mention about the Beryl that's unique to it is this paddle mag release. It's extended, so you can go like this if you want, or you can just easily flip that out, which makes it way easier to do that cool guy AK reload there. Next up, I want to see if we can keep as many rounds on paper as possible from around 20 yards away. And we're gonna see if this FRT is actually practical. All right, so you can see we got our target here, around 20 yards. This is the WBP Polish mag. See how we do. All right, see how I did. 26, 27, 28, 29. 29 rounds on paper, off paper with 1. I'd say it's pretty good from 20 yards. Most of it center mass. Dawaj. You ever run into these pesky red ants at the range? They like to crawl all up in your balls and bite you while you're going prone, and we don't like that. That's why Texas Triggers extermination services exist for all of your pest elimination needs. It's simple as this. Ants eliminated. All right, we're gonna see if this is any easier doing the AK reloads. I'm not very good at them, but we're gonna see if this paddle helps at all. Oh yeah. 6.22. That was a little quicker. 5.7 illustrates the ease of the paddle there. All right, I'm gonna just see if we can get some double taps here, because that's where the practicality of an FRT like this. See if we can keep them on steel. Oh, that's just one. There it is. There it is. Clear. Pretty sweet green fake light mag from Pro 2A Customs. Let's see if I can do a 3-round burst. There we go. See if I can get a precision one shot here. It's really not too hard to do one shot. You know, you gotta let her piss with the stendo. Wow, that was an amazing day of shooting this FB Radom Beryl, courtesy of Arms of America and Texas Triggers. The Texas Trigger FRT for the Beryl is amazing. This thing's sick. The only thing that would make it a little bit better is if it just was 3 position, but I'm sure they're working on it. But with that said, you saw I could hit single shots, no problem. Just have to have a little bit of practice with just a quick trigger pull. Like I said, the Beryl is one of my favorite AKs, and I'm so stoked to have this now in FRT mode as it was meant to be. Texas Triggers did give me a discount to share with you guys. It's 15 beans off any of their fun little triggers. And I would never use PSR. Don't use PSR for 15 beans off. Do with that what you like. I've always wanted to try one of these FRT AKs, and to have it for the Beryl specifically drop in is just tits. I just want to thank again Texas Triggers and Arms of America for hooking me up and allowing me to do this video. So big thank you to them. As far as just the conclusions on this AK, I mean, it shoots great. It gets a little hot just like any other AK, but this quad rail is beefy enough that if you got a glove on, you're good. Even a cloth glove like these pig ones, it's no problem. Seems pretty accurate. Was able to keep the shots on target as you saw. We saw the slow motion of the FRT. It's the Clone Correct G-Watt AK on the NATO side. Pretty sick. With that said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hopefully you learned some additional Polish, a little bit. Jedziemy. One more time. Ale chica! I didn't think it was raining, but I guess it is. Kurwa! Love you guys. See you on the next one.
And while we smoke 100, but nigga, I'm 300. Click, click, pound, now he running. Don't be fucking with my youngest. Them niggas be drunken. They take your ass down. Shit, we need them bricks or something. Keep this shit 100. I keep this shit 100. I pull up in that alley. You pull up in that Harley. A fuck nigga don't wanna be. Nah, I like my bitch to see my titties.
PSR taking the lead. Yeah. Taking a big fat leak right now. Yeah. Okay, gotta shake it now. Shake it. Shake it. Yeah, shake it. Yeah, put it away. Yep. Oh, those pens are so fit in my pants. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, too big.